Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So I'm Dan from Trading with Dan, and this is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour, literally yesterday morning, we're around this level where I think I was pretty much saying that I personally was expecting a rejection here, was just the high likelihood scenario, aiming basically back down for this 55k level, which is pretty much, well, it must have happened on the next candle or the next candle after that, so a few hours after. But yes, we got that pullback. Obviously at that point we were hoping that we could get supported there, get back up to around this 50 into the 57,000s, and then try and make some progress back, basically back through this new resistance zone. But sadly, that was not to be the case. We did have a bounce around that 55,000 level, only got us as high as about 56.5 before we rolled over again, and we actually took out the lows of that initial pullback. So clearly this is in a bearish posture, obviously looking to potentially come back down to this 52k level, at which point I mean we could very easily get supported there, trade out this range a bit before then reversing back up to the upside. But obviously we just got to be careful of the fact if we do close for our candles below 52,000, which is still a good $2,000 away, then we are realistically looking for the next target of well, basically mid 40,000, so 46,000. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. We do know Bitcoin can reverse these medium-term downtrends, reverse them on a dime, on a sixpence, and then start going back up again. And we could very easily do it if we come back and tap this 52k level again, turn back round, and then start to make some progress to the upside. So yeah, I mean, it is just a game of levels, a game of ranges. We are inside this one at the moment. Can we hold this one? Can we get supported around the 53,000? Try and come back up and try and take out the try and get basically back above 58,500, or are we going to lose this 52,000? In which case we're realistically looking at 47,000, maybe a bounce around the 50,000 level. So yeah, Bitcoin obviously not looking too good in the medium term. We do know larger time frame everything is not looking so bad, and this is not realistically how markets usually top. So you wouldn't look at this and say this is it, this is done. Bitcoin is now in a bear market. So it's just a case of where do we get supported, and obviously we have got all these levels below us, even down to 42,000, where realistically Bitcoin could still be just trading sideways within these ranges, and still be looking macro bullish for then obviously to eventually break above these recent highs, and then continue on upwards towards 100k. So yeah, we're just in one of those down periods of the market at present. But yeah, like I've said, these periods can pretty much reverse. But I mean, you can see previous ones we've had, they can go on for a while, as you can see, and it really wouldn't look out of place in this chart to come down to this 46,000 level this area down here, and then consolidate, trade in here for a little bit, and then reverse and start to put in an uptrend again in the medium term. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, let's have a look at how she is doing. Yeah, holding up there. Okay at the moment. Obviously we've lost this trend line. We've lost the 0.039 handle. So yeah, under a little bit of duress at the moment, but as you can see, still relatively holding this area. So yeah, we've got to keep an eye on this. I mean, this is pretty much the level. If we lose this, we'll probably come and test some downside. So as long as we hold this level, we can pretty much get supported in this zone, I think. And then yeah, we're just looking for a break above these highs, or above this basically above 0.04. So yeah, that's not looking too bad. Obviously the USD pairing and not going to be looking too hot, because that's going to be basically following what Bitcoin's doing. As you can see, he's lost his trend line here again. Ethereum has. So potentially has got targets around the low 19,000s on the cards, maybe even mid 18,000s. Potentially come and test this trend line or some of these horizontals. So yeah, that's what is going on there. Here we have it, DXY, as we expected. As we, the royal we, all of us together, as we expected. Yeah, basically we've got the 90 handle now. So we are, if we extend this level across as well, this is not too an important level. I'll extend it across anyway because it's where price action is roughly at the moment. But the main one, obviously, for me was obviously losing this level, and that puts us now in a medium-term downtrend. So yeah, so the dollar bulls, I think, have had their fun in the sun. And it is now time for those dollar bears to party. So yeah, I imagine we will get some bounces and sideways and some sort of consolidation within this old area that we had previously. But ultimately, you kind of have to assume we are now going for lower lows after putting in a lower high. That has to be the base case assumption, and that is not going to be bad for crypto. Put it that way, guys. It's not going to be bad for crypto. So at some point, we do have this tailwind for Bitcoin to potentially reverse from wherever we do find a base, do find a strong bottom, basically. So yeah. What else do you want to look at? Yeah, Bitcoin dominance. You can see still having a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a consolidation down here. I mean, this is at the very least, we were looking at least some sideways consolidation at these very important levels, because once we take these out, it's basically free fall. But I am personally thinking we are probably going to get maybe a bit more of an actual significant move to the upside, maybe just somewhere into this zone, I think. Before, well, hopefully getting rejected, coming back down, taking out the bottom and free falling. But we could, I mean, that we could get back into here and start to make progress to the upside, and then try and come and tap either this area or the or wherever it would come in at the this trend line at the top of this channel. But I would hope, straight think, that is not what is the most likely scenario. I think we're just going to have some potential sideways consolidation, maybe sideways to up, and then eventually come back down and take out this level, and then yeah, come down a lot. But realistically, these were the main targets, and we've done that. So yeah, we are at an important level now. So it's make or break. We break here. Well, eventually, not necessarily right immediately, but either we take out this level in Bitcoin dominance and start to really make it. Well, this is obviously making a move down, but then just make a move down into basically very low levels, may potentially very quickly. But as you, this is what I mean. Markets don't come down in a straight line, and we've had this move pretty much straight down already. So it is just hard to see a breaking of this level and coming straight down again. I think we will just get some sideways consolidation, maybe even an upward bias into this area before coming down to try and take it out. That's what I think. I mean, it's not necessarily what's going to happen. I would much rather we just basically just did the same again and again and again. But yeah, we've got to be realistic about it. So yeah, you can see the S&P basically back testing near enough to the dot, the 1.618. Literally looks to the dot exactly. So yeah, that's yeah, it's obviously a level. I mean, if we don't make progress in this move now, I think we will potentially come back down, test it again and lose it this time, and test some midterm downside. So yeah, got to keep an eye on that for stocks, because that then could be a drag. But it depends what the DXY does, because I think if the DXY is coming down, stocks are gonna continue on upwards, basically. Gold is probably a busting through, trying to get through this zone. Yeah, we're in it at the moment, we're in the thick of it, but yeah, getting it back above here, we could be looking good for starting to put in the uptrend back in gold again. The 10-year having a little bit of a bounce, as we can see, back above this horizontal, but as you can see, coming into a trend line. Which we will draw in, and we shall all see whether this does reject price. But yeah, we'll just draw that in just so we can see how we do react to that when stroke if we meet that. Let's just sort this out a tiny little bit. Yeah, that'll do. That's good enough. Also silver. Silver looking okay here. I mean, silver's basically just been in a massive wide chop zone, as you can see. No real rhyme or reason here, but we're just basically trading within a channel. And yeah, that is often what you see with price action. This is why I always look for wider channels, even though you might have moves up, like we get a move up there, but just look kind of to the wider channel that we're in, which is what I have been looking at in Bitcoin. I mean, this is kind of like the wider channel, so we can easily come back down to this level, test the bottom of it, and just trade within it. Even though it appears we do have an upward bias, we could still very much just be in a channel. In sort of like a horizontal range. I think that is about it, other than the stochastics that we'll have a look at. Oh, obviously we've got a very large gap here. Came down and closed this gap. So that's obviously well, good to see. It's closed now. But yeah, like what happens with these, we can obviously then just run through them. So we kind of either sort of bounce off it like very quickly, or we do just pile through it, as obviously we as the people take the longs here or close the shorts, and then we just carry on coming down. But yeah, we've got a big gap here anyway to be aware of. So at some point, but we don't. I don't personally think. I'm sure we don't think the overall uptrend in Bitcoin is over. So I'm sure we are potentially expecting new highs to come in. We might just draw this in because it just looks a bit more obvious here over in CMEs. Oh, it's not going to let me. Oh, it is going to let me draw it. Obviously, I'm drawing it to fit that. I should really draw it here. But yeah, we'll draw that in. Maybe of significance, maybe of interest. So we'll have this drawn in. Yeah, we'll draw it like that. Just because obviously we are now, as you can see, below here. So that could potentially be bad for price action. If we do then continue lower here and don't within obviously a couple of days get back above here. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Also, yeah, the stochastics then. How are they looking? I don't suspect they're looking too fantabulous today. 4 hours, you can see rolling back over. 10 hour, the 10 hour and 12 hour yesterday I had looked to turn back up, but now 10 hour looking to turn back over. 12 hour, 12 hours, you can see try to turn back up, but it's still coming down now. Daily still diving. And then the rest of them are going to probably be down now as well. Yeah, 2 day, 3 day down, 5 day down, weekly down, albeit from high levels on these ones, and they can easily, obviously you can see they've turned down and stayed up in this level for a while. So I mean the macro trend is still up. We're still very in this bullish zone. So overall the higher time frames not looking bad, but yeah, lower time frames are still looking for a catch point, and the daily is still diving. So is that 46k on the cards? Are we going to put in a sorts of double bottom around this 52,000 level and then turn back up? We shall see. Like I've said, realistically, you just want to be looking at the 4 hour closures above or below our important levels. Wicks below and then closures above to indicate we're then going to move up, or basic closures below to indicate we're then going to come and tap the next level. Trading's not easy, but it's probably one of the easier ways of basically predicting the next moves. So yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.